Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the second half of September. We're going to start with the Kodansha releases, Bloodblade Volume 3. In this series, Count Vlad Dracula is reborn as a katana-wielding young vampiress in an alternate history Europe. The Justicia's trackers are still on Vlad's party's tail, and so Vlad suggests a daring plan. The party will cut through the heart of the Empire and pass right under their enemies' noses. To do so, they'll need some help from their newest ally, a mysterious nun who may be more than meets the eye. Then we have Volume 17 of Blood on the Tracks. This is the final volume of the series, so definitely go get this volume to find out how it all ends. We have Fire Force Omnibus Volume 12. This omnibus contains volumes 33 and 34, and is also the final edition of the series. Sailor Moon Volume 10. This is the new release, the Sailor Moon Naoko Takeuchi collection, featuring an updated translation and high page count with just over 300 pages. That's out on the 17th of September. We have a new series called Spoil Me Please Hinamori-san. Known throughout the school for her selflessness and perfect grades, there's not a single underclassman who doesn't look up to Yaya Suro, including Ichigo Hinamori. Turned down by her crush because of her childish image, Ichigo idolizes Yaya and wishes nothing more than to be as mature and elegant as her senpai. But Ichigo's perfect image of Yaya is shattered when she comes across her wallowing in self-pity in the nurse's office one day. The real Yaya is clumsy, clingy, and selfish. Not at all like the perfect act she puts on. What's more, she's desperately starved for attention, and now she won't leave Ichigo alone. Another new series, Tank Chair. Living on Guicheng Island, called the most dangerous town in the universe, is no easy task. Genetic doping is common for gangs to gain ultimate power. Shizuka, a young girl, takes on the most dangerous of assassin jobs, but she's not the one doing the killing. Rather, it's her brother, Nagi, a strong assassin who took a bullet to protect his sister, leaving him in a comatose state and having to use a wheelchair. However, Shizuka has figured out the key to waking her brother up. He must be faced with murderous intent. Thus begins a violent journey of recovery, battling the most dangerous of foes. Adu Volume 4. An extortionist cult learns of Yuan's existence and hatches a scheme to kidnap him. With danger now pressing on every side, Eito and Yuan must decide who holds the strings to their fates. Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Volume 15. Their world rewritten by forbidden magic, Sakura and Akiho seemingly lead happy lives, though one very important person is missing. But then Lily appears and reveals the truth. This reality is wrong. Can Sakura gather her scattered memories and restore her world as it was, as it should be, before it's too late? How I Met My Soulmate Volume 4. After scrounging up money by working odd jobs, Yuki is finally on her way to her hot springs vacation with Iori. However, upon arrival, they bump into a girl who seems to know Iori. Nina the Starry Bride Volume 6. While Nina is trying to become the Queen of Galgada to protect Azure, Azure has set up his own plans to get Nina back. Another new series, Suzume Volume 1. High school junior Suzume has no idea why the beautiful stranger she meets is looking for runes for a certain door. Soon after pointing the stranger, Sota, in the direction of an abandoned resort, she thinks better of it and goes to try and stop him. But before she can find him, Suzume unknowingly opens a decrepit door to a world beyond time and place, and stumbles into an adventure of seismic proportions. The Boy I Loved Became the Jaded Emperor Volume 1. As a young boy, Prince Alexei was rescued from certain death by a strange woman with the appearance of a monster. The two of them spent blissful years in the forest, but tragedy struck after his former life caught up with him. Now a young man, Alexei has taken the throne, becoming a cold-hearted emperor with no interest in finding love. Little does he know, the person who saved him has been reborn as the daughter of a duke, a taciturn young lady named Eleonora. Soon enough, fate throws them together at the imperial court, but can Alexei overcome his jaded past to see what is right in front of him? The Great Cleric Volume 11. Lucille uncovers the mastermind behind the attack on the healers, and once again it seems as though fate is pushing him towards the newly awakened labyrinth, the source of all Yennis's recent problems. Lucille and his allies venture into the labyrinth, but strength alone won't be enough to make it through this time. Black Summoner Volume 3. Kelvin bartered away his memories for a collection of powerful new abilities after transmigrating to a new world. His allies and forces continue to grow, and his party set off travelling, only to encounter the heroes of Deramis. Cheerful Amnesia Volume 4. This story starts when Arissa loses her memories from the past 3 years, and her girlfriend Mari worries it might mean the end of their budding relationship. A needless concern, because when Arissa lays eyes on her, she falls in love all over again. Now things are finally getting serious between the two, and they may know the cause of Arissa's amnesia. Dark Moon The Blood Altar Volume 4. This story is set in Decelis Academy, where the 7 most popular boys all share a secret: they're vampires. Chris has gotten a hold of Suha, a student with hidden powers, and everyone is desperate to save her. Both werewolves and vampires are trying to find leads to where she is. Dead Mount Deathplay Volume 12. As Polkar ascends the stairs to the abandoned hospital's rooftop, he hears voices crying out in pain. These voices belong to the spirits of long-deceased patients, bound to this world by their lingering regrets. More specifically, the basement seems to be the primary source of their discomfort, but what actually lurks below? A new series from Yen Press, Detroit Become Human Tokyo Stories. Set in Tokyo 2038, artificially intelligent robots known as androids have started production. Even smarter and more beautiful than regular people, they steadily replace humans in various roles. However, unlike America's anti-android sentiments, in Japan, the android idol Reina's wild popularity seems to herald a bright future for androids. But amid this, android deviants begin to appear, rejecting their duty for free will and real emotions. Finding Camellia Volume 1. Camellia is taken from her mother and everything she knows at the young age of 12, and thrust into the world of Camelius Bale, the second son of an aristocratic family. Amid all the secrets and lies, Camellia swears that one day she will reclaim the name and life that was stolen from her. Another new series, From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. In a village in the remote countryside, Beryl Gardinant meticulously runs a fencing dojo. One day he's paid a visit by his former pupil, Alicia, now grown into the kingdom's Knights Commander, and Beryl decides to follow her to the royal capital to become a special instructor for the Knights. As he's pulled into reunions with his accomplished and eager apprentices, what does fate have in store for Beryl? Goblin Slayer Side Story Year 1, Volume 11. After getting a salary raise, Spearman entreats the blacksmith for a magic spear. Meanwhile, Goblin Slayer encounters a magic weapon of his own, but from the other side. A goblin has got its grubby hands on a sword that blazes with a pale blue light, and if well-equipped goblins weren't enough, he will have to face up against a giant eye monster whose gaze can melt stone. If only Goblin Slayer had some help and advice from a more experienced adventurer. God Bless the Mistaken Volume 3. Middle schooler Con lives in a world that bugs out. Through each book he continues to learn more about the world, and through Con, the people around him learn more about themselves. I Want to Be a Receptionist in This Magical World Volume 5. It's been 2 years since Nunnally started working Harry as a receptionist, and it's going great. She even has a junior co-worker now. But on a trip with friends to a beach in the kingdom of Selena, they bump into none other than Prince Zenon, and Nunnally's arch-rival Rockman. The two are here for an investigation, though things take a turn when Nunnally is captured by a giant sea creature. Jungle Juice Volume 5. Pet Shop's predators have launched a blitz attack on Nest. Feed-trained and yet retaining their rationality, these overpowered monsters have no qualms blowing up innocent citizens and slashing down anyone who gets in their way. It's an earth-shattering fight the likes of which Suchan and his friends have never seen before, and this is out on the 17th of September. Volume 17 of Kakegurui Compulsive Gambler. The Jabami family, extending from the Momobami family, was once in the business of gambling. The elder sister, Soko, and the younger, Yumiko, lost their parents when they were young. Under their aunt, their days were quiet and blissful. However, that peace was broken by the Jabamises' powerful compulsion for gambling coursing through their veins. Volume 8, Kowloon. Struck by reality they didn't wish for, some ask, do I not exist in this world? They can confirm their own presence, and Kowloon's, and they can even smell and taste. In this town filled with secrets, Kujirai doubts her own existence. Each day is painful, but will it be different if Kudo is by her side? Monthly Girls, Nozaki-kun, Volume 3. This story starts with Chiyo Sakura confessing her feelings to classmate Umetaru Nozaki, who misunderstands and recruits her as a mangaka's assistant instead. This series follows multiple people in their friendship group, and in this one, Nozaki and Sakura scope out the competition of other manga artists. Ryosuke discovers Yukari's manga, and Wakamatsu's quest to learn to endure Seo's singing without falling asleep continues. Volume 14 came out in September 2023, so it has been a while since the last release. Volume 5 of Not So Wicked Stepmom. As the Friedkin family prepares for the Queen Mother's return, they're filled with dread and anticipation. Abigail's first impressions of Sabrian's mother are hardly what she was expecting, but that doesn't mean she'll let her guard down. And when she senses a change in Blanche's behaviour, Abigail begins to suspect something is off. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Volume 4. Dokcha has his hands full dealing with the relentless monster attacks, as well as Landlord's Coalition schemes. But when Jung-yuk Yu disappears amidst the chaos, he's faced with the chilling question. When the main character of this universe dies, what happens to the rest of the world? A new series called Pink and Habanero. High school freshman Mugi can barely muster the confidence to talk to a boy, much less to take one on a date. Plus, the first time she meets Kei Kurose, the wrong sort of sparks fly. Even if she thinks Kei is hot, who would put up with the way he treats girls like trash? Mugi has no patience for his rude attitude, but when she just so happens to discover the scandalous secret of his part-time job, she might have to learn to keep his trust. Secrets of the Silent Witch, Volume 3. Monica, the Silent Witch and one of the 7 sages, has successfully infiltrated the academy and joined the student council. But can she find out who helped Aaron O'Brien embezzle the student council funds without revealing her true identity? Shadow's House, Volume 7. With the web of lies and deceit masking the phantom incident unravelled, another soot-stained sorrowful truth about the house has been revealed. Tension between the children's wing and the rest of the house is at an all-time high. Spring Storm and Monster Volume 1. High school freshman Ranko Haruno's sole desire in life is to keep her head down and just get by with as little human interaction as possible. It's working well until a random guy is literally hurled onto her path and knocked out when his head hits the wall. The responsible party? A guy she later finds out is her new stepbrother, Kaya Amamine. How exactly is she supposed to live with such a creepy jerk who seemingly has a penchant for violence? Sugar Apple Fairy Tale Volume 3. In the Kingdom of Highland, humans use fairies. Anne is aiming to become a silver sugar master like her late mother, and she works towards this goal every day. One day, as their travel funds start to dwindle, Anne hears of a money-making opportunity for candy crafters, and her interest is piqued. Tales of the Kingdom Volume 5. The Crown Prince of Sharibalte walks the lonely halls of his vast palace. His mother's sanity lost, and his brother turned against him. He ascends to the throne at last. Read to find out what bold actions the new king takes. The Executioner and Her Way of Life Volume 5. Menno and her allies are attacked by one of the 4 major human errors who once destroyed the world, Pandemonium. Up against an enemy who creates infinitely many monsters from her flesh, revives herself at will, and treats life and death as mere entertainment, Menno is driven into a corner. The Holy Grail of Eris Volume 8. For those new to the series, the Grail family has a single guiding principle in their lives. Thou shalt be sincere. However, sincerity alone can only get a lady so far in the twisted world of high society, as meet Constance Grayle learns in Volume 1, after she is framed for petty theft and loses her fiancé and reputation in a matter of minutes. In this one, Constance meets someone to find out the truth, and she may find out more than one. Volume 8 of The Remarried Empress. Sovieshu has discovered that Navier overheard his plan to divorce her, and he's furious. Is this the reason everything went to ruin? Convinced he can set the record straight with Navier and win her back, Sovieshu invites Navier to his wedding ceremony, and so back to the Eastern Empire she goes. What revelations will come to light when Sovieshu and Navier finally meet? The Uncanny Counter Volume 3. Mun may have taken things too far. After using his powers from the afterlife to strike back against the bullies who hurt his friends, the young spirits debate on taking away Mun's power as a counter. This Monster Wants to Eat Me Volume 2. Shiori, the man-eating mermaid, has seen through Hinako's lonely wish. The girl who spends her time in solitude bears the truth to her devourer. Her family made one final request the day she lost them, but really they cast a curse on her, eating away at her from the inside. Will her newfound confidant help Hinako overcome the tragedy of that day? Volume 20 of Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun. Ko has found renewed resolve to become an exorcist like his big brother, but he doesn't expect to come face to face with the supernatural who disappeared not so long ago, Mitsuba. The two head off on an impromptu adventure to enjoy the city nightlife, heedless of the danger awaiting them in the dark, and in the midst of it all, Mitsuba comes out with a shocking request. Another new series, Tougen Anki, Legend of the Cursed Blood. Shiki Ichinose's blood is Oni, and his father's is Momotaro. Normally, those with Momotaro blood hunt the Oni, but Shiki's father refused to kill him as an infant. Instead, he adopted Shiki and raised him despite the rebellious attitude and dangerous temper that comes with Oni blood. When a member of the Momotaro agency kills Shiki's father, he vows to avenge him, but as Shiki hones his abilities and learns to control his Oni blood, will he be strong enough to survive the dangers waiting for him? And that is out on the 17th of September. Tsubaki Chow Lonely Planet Volume 8. Fumi, desperate to work things out with Akatsuki, admits to him her most heartfelt thoughts. In response, Akatsuki puts his feelings for Fumi into words too. It seems like their happiest days are finally ahead of them. Volume 3 of Dracula. With Lucy's life hanging in the balance, tempers flare and tensions rise as Arthur, Quincy, Joe and Mina struggle to decide who is best suited to offer aid to their precious friend. However, the sudden appearance of Count Dracula may render all their efforts for naught. Also from Viz Media we have Chojin X Volume 7. Tokyo is back from his training just in time to help Ellie and Azuma deal with some troublesome Chojin, but tearful reunions will have to wait, as Yamato Mori dedicates all its resources to preparing for an all-out war against Zora and her forces. Full Night Volume 2. Struggling in poverty and slowly transforming, Kamiya must figure out how to spend the brief years of humanity he has left after undergoing the transfloration procedure. The vine growing from his stomach has made him question his relationship with his mother and his employment at Transflora Medical. Haikyuu 3-in-1 edition. Karasuna's training camp kicks off with a bang, and the moment they've all been waiting for finally arrives. The revival of the long-standing rivalry between the cats and the crows. Karasuna's practice games against Nekoma reveal all the cracks in their teamwork, and they'd better patch things up if they're to stand a chance in the Inter-High qualifiers. Insomniacs After School Volume 7. After disobeying Magari's parents, Nakami and Magari face a strict separation. Magari is banned from having any contact with Nakami outside of school. Overwhelmed with guilt, the duo reluctantly agree to put their connection on hold. At the same time, the astronomy club faces disbandment, and the pair must make a bold move to save it. Tokyo These Days Volume 3. Believing in the future of manga while never forgetting its past, Shiozawa accompanies manga creators once again through their agony to create an ultimate manga project. Is there ever joy in creation? A new series, Trillion Game. After Haru and Gaku become the first Japanese people in the 21st century to be listed among the world's top 10 billionaires, Gaku reflects on when he and Haru met and the events that led to the founding of their company. What started as a middle school acquaintanceship builds to a fruitful and unorthodox partnership as the two progress on their ruthless path to success. Fist of the North Volume 14. The arrival of Kenshiro in the land of the Asuras was preceded by the legend of Rao, who it was said would bring justice to that blighted place. The people of the land of Asuras suffer in the grip of its savage leaders, the dreaded Rasho, 3 masters of Hokuto Ryuken. Now Kenshiro has come to rescue Rin and Shachi. To do it, he'll have to face the first Rasho, the demon lord Kaio, a man whose soul burns with the rage of the gods. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean, Volume 6. Their escape is constantly thwarted in this one, with Jolene being attacked by the lead guard, whose stand, Jailhouse Lock, causes Jolene to be able to remember only 3 things at a time. Pokemon: The Complete Pokemon Pocket Guide Box Set. Each book in this 2-volume set is filled with descriptions and stats, including abilities, moves, and evolutions. It includes 898 Pokemon, so it's perfect for all the Pokemon fans out there. We have another box set, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Complete Box Set. This set contains all 11 volumes of the smash hit manga series The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and it comes with a collectible double-sided poster. Moving on to the 7 Seas Entertainment releases, I Abandoned My Engagement Volume 1. This series is inspired by a light novel and follows Leah, a saint of the kingdom of Elshide, who has her happily ever after shattered when her tragic heroine of a younger sister accuses her of abuse. Believing the lies, Leia's fiancé breaks off their engagement, leaving her despondent, but a surprise encounter with the Crown Prince changes everything. Charming and righteous, Prince Eric is determined to discover the truth about Leia's character by having her come live with him in the royal palace. Another new series, Hatsukoi Note. This is a boys' love manga that shows how playing matchmaker can lead to a mess of feelings. Shoya, a high school boy whose heart has never known romance, comes across an internet diary filled with wistful whispers of love towards the writer's same-sex crush. A photo posted to the page provides a hint as to the blog's owner, Tsubame, a fellow classmate known for being a lone wolf. Shoya realizes that his friend Ryu is the object of the diary writer's affections, so he attempts to play matchmaker, but where will his own feelings take him in the process? After School Etude Volume 1. When Minobe Chihiro is admitted to a private arts academy to study ballet, the last person he expects to train with is surly second-year Ichinomiya-shun. Yet by some stroke of luck, the two have been paired up for their school's mandatory Pas-de-deux practice. While Minobe has fallen at first sight for Ichinomiya's superior dance sense, the second year's attitude leaves a lot to be desired. For Ichinomiya, paired with Minobe as a dance partner is not how he'd like to be spending his time. The grumpy upperclassman has his walls up, but Minobe's puppy-like affection might be just what he needs. Obey Me, the Comic Volume 3. This is the final volume of the series, so if you want to know how it all ends for these brothers, go buy it. Handsome Girl and Sheltered Girl, the Complete Manga Collection. A case of mistaken identity blossoms into love in this light-hearted Yuri girls' love manga. When Okuma Satomi's friend seeks her help wrangling guys for a cross-dressing cafe, Satomi winds up with a boyfriend. Sort of. After asking her handsome and aloof classmate Kanda Mizuki to help out in the cafe, Mizuki agrees, but on one condition: the two of them must go on a date. Satomi eagerly agrees, delighted to have such a good-looking guy interested in her. But Mizuki realizes that Satomi has completely misunderstood something crucial. Mizuki is a girl. This volume has just over 400 pages. Volume 8 of The Masterful Cat is depressed again. Saku's tranquil home is disturbed when her mum and dad come to visit. Now Saku is at the mercy of these two visitors staying over. In the midst of this chaos, can Miyukichi mend the relationship between Saku and her mum? Who Made Me a Princess Volume 7. Despite the castle gag order keeping Claude's illness a secret, rumours begin to spread amongst the aristocrats about the Emperor's indisposed state. With Claude unconscious, Athanasia must serve as the Emperor's proxy, though she struggles to contain the rumour mill while caring for her father, and also managing the affairs of state. But when a shrouded figure reveals himself before a gathering of nobles, Athanasia must stem the beginnings of a coup. Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 5. Suzume is getting to know Ankylosaur section head Katase Shogo. They're the same age, so they should get along, right? Wrong. Can Suzume keep from butting heads with him until it's time for her to move on? Barbaritti's Volume 4. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you go check this one out. From Square Enix, we have Cherry Magic 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard, Volume 12. Adachi and Kurosawa's married life hits the first bump in the road when Kurosawa just won't slow down on a work project. He brushes off Adachi's request to let him pull some of the weight, and he's insisting on taking care of everything himself. Soul Eater the Perfect Edition, Volume 16. The all-out war between DWMA's most elite fighters and the Kishin's army of deranged clowns rages on, and now Krona has joined the fray to fulfill Medusa's deepest, darkest wish. So those are the releases for the second half of September. There were a lot, so I'm really sorry about the length of the video. Lots of series ending, and we also had lots of new series, which is very exciting. If you would like to buy some of these volumes from SciFier, I have a code, Jay's Manga, that can get you an extra 5% off their already discounted prices. Let me know if you are going to buy any of these volumes, but otherwise, have a lovely manga buying month everyone. Bye!